Hey, what's up, guys? So this is the earliest. Hey, what's going on, guys? Just setting up the stream right now. If you're rewatching this, we're just going to be covering like the latest news, as well as getting your guys' take in the chat on what's going on with Safemoon. What happens if they reinject liquidity? Kind of the sentiment of the holders, the maxis, the fudders, and the impact of this on the future of Safemoon, as well as some important questions like where are they getting the money to re-inject the liquidity? Like where did that money come from? And how does that affect the future of Safemoon? Not just if they lost the LP, if they're having to cover that from a different wallet like the Treasury, then that means that they're down $9 million on their spending power. So unless like there's really no positive net from this, even if they put the LP back, and I'm going to be showing a lot of stuff on the screen in a second, but it's not like there's going to be like, it's not like putting the LP back makes everything good, right? It's like you messed up big time, and even if you put that money back, like best case scenario would be if the hackers just gave it all back, which I just don't see happening. But if it did, and if most of it got back, that's like best case scenario. But it still remains that it's not like, yeah, Safemoon, see how amazing they are. It's like, no, no, no. They let this happen, that we got hacked. Everybody sees Safemoon as not safe because now moving forward, people are going to say like, oh yeah, you guys are the ones that got hacked, right? That's what people will be saying. The maxi mindset will do the opposite. It'll say, no, Captain Huddle for the win. He has our back. He took care of us. But there's no like accountability of like holding him accountable. If Thomas had let this happen, if Thomas was there, or if Hank was there, or Ryan was there, and this happened, and then they got fired, they would blame them, right? They'd be like, see, that's why John got rid of them, is because they did that. Like, it's never John's fault. It's pretty amazing that John has the shield of defense that he has from the people that believe in Safemoon. What's going on, everybody in the chat? How you guys doing? What's up, Mark Temple, Asamir Muhammad, Alan Kamowski, Safemoon Corey? How's it going? Stick a fork in it. Safemoon is done. Do you guys still believe in this crap coin? CC, why don't just come back to be part of Safemoon, bro? I don't really know what you mean by be a part of Safemoon. Like I hold Safemoon. I never sold it. Am I still a part of it? I talk about it. Am I still a part of it? Or do you mean like I can only say positive things about it to be a part of it? Is that what you mean? They stole a lot of money. Yeah. You like the? Why don't you accept that you like the project? I do like the project. I don't like John and what he's done with the project. And honestly, looking back, I think we had a lot of bad people in charge of Safemoon. It was just a project that started out as a scam, and then that scammer reached out to their friends and got their friends on board. Those people were not qualified to run Safemoon. Safemoon exploded, and then all of a sudden you have people who have never been in charge of this many people, of this kind of money, of this kind of direction, suddenly in charge of it. Very young. John is very young. You know what I mean? He's way younger than me. I'm 33. And it may not seem like a lot, but 5-10 years can make a pretty big difference in how much you mature, right? And it's not to say that anybody who's young can't run a business. It's just saying you're young and inexperienced, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what happens when you take a young, inexperienced person and put them in charge of multi-million-dollar company or projects? Not even really a company, I wouldn't call it. Please change the title from hack to fraud or something more suitable. When people say they don't like something but they can't stop talking about it, you know it's good. Yeah, Michael, John, I've heard that quote from CZ Binance. Do you ever talk about things that you don't like? Like, have you ever talked about my channel and how you don't like me? You ever talk about the fudders? Does that mean that you like the fudders? Do you ever talk about the political side that you don't like and how evil they are? Does that mean you like them? That logic doesn't always apply. Sometimes you talk about something because it's a problem and because it needs to be addressed, right? So I still hold 9.2 million tokens, but lost faith in the project. John is not a trustable person. This happened before. Like, I would really ask the Safemoon maxis to take a look from an outside perspective, not your perspective, an outside perspective, like how you look at other projects, the way that and then add all of the things that Safemoon and John has done and apply that to another project, and then say, how would you actually feel that way if you knew another project that was accused of taking the LP and it looked pretty heavily and they weren't answering it and all those things? You realize that you probably change your standard for Safemoon, right? You probably have a very strict standard for other projects. It's not like everybody's out there giving every project the benefit of the doubt and backing them up and believing them no matter what. They only apply that to Safemoon and maybe Grove and other projects related to Safemoon. But generally speaking, they're very harsh on other people. Like, they're very harsh on you. If you say something about Safemoon, you must be paid. You must be a fudder. You must be evil. You must be, something's wrong with you. You're just doing this for views. And it's like, man, that's a harsh judgment for me. You're so quick to defend John, but for me, man, I don't get any slack, and neither does anybody who talks about things that are inconsistent with John's behavior as far as transparency, trust, communication, execution, promising on dates, not delivering, not answering anything about the lawsuits, his mom, where he got the money, the most important questions, why the team is leaving, and he's playing game. They're playing games. You know what I mean? That just blows my mind, and it's extremely unrealistic. You know, I believe that I have a balanced scale, but I'm open to my scale of judgment being corrected. But the thing is, it's not like, oh, John is equally doing the right thing as he is the bad thing, so that both opinions of him are valid. It's like, no, John has messed up consistently throughout the history of the project. It's always been John, like most of the time. And you can't, to have a fair scale, you would have to hold that standard. You'd have to say, no, John has messed up. John did fire, did allow Safemoon Dev to have access to the LP. He knew about that and didn't say anything. He didn't tell us about that. John did take from the LP. Like, it still blows my mind that that recording of Hank saying John wanted to rug the LP. Like, Hank didn't think anyone was going to hear that. And he said, and John wanted to rug the LP. And that just came, like, people were like, oh, yeah, maybe he meant, like, no, he's saying that they wouldn't lock the LP because they were getting FUD. And this is, like, the conclusions you can draw from this. Like, I know what the Maxi mindset does. It says, oh, Hank's an idiot, and he was a scammer, and we heard this audio of him being drunk and mad and trying to, get John to pay him his $4 million, whatever it was, severance package. And it's like, no, if you just take your bias, put it aside, and actually think honestly about that, what the implications are of the right-hand man of John. Like, I don't know if you guys remember this. Hank was like almost the guy that was doing everything. I think this stream already got reported a bunch by like a bunch of maxis that are upset. They just come in and start reporting. You guys are like cancel culture. You know that? You guys are the cancel culture. If you believe in Safemoon and you're a conservative, you gotta wake up. You gotta take those glasses off, bro. You are a leftist in the crypto space. Okay, guys, we're going to go ahead and pull up. Hey, $2. Thanks, Mitch, for the $2. I really appreciate it. We're going to keep reading comments, and we're going to be looking at kind of a lot of different information when it comes to Safemoon right now. So If you guys do me a favor and hit the like button. Actually, there's one more thing I want to do. I just want to share this on Twitter. So let me grab that link real quick. Yeah, hit the like button. Let's get some more people in here. That's all it does. I know people are like afraid that if they hit the like button that I'm going to get money or something. And it's like, no, that doesn't happen.
Everyone needs to
have. That's an advertisement. But yeah, a lot of good information. I could make a video, but it's kind of just easier to do a live, and I won't be able to be on here for too long. Okay, cool. Now we're actually ready to go. And the maxis are celebrating right now, and there's nothing wrong, but it's so funny the back and forth that happens. Let's read some more comments real fast. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm not paying attention. It would be good if John sold the company and maybe hold a small stake in the company, but he's too arrogant. It really doesn't matter what products, if any, Safemoon puts out. Safemoon is the laughing stock of crypto now, and nobody will take them seriously ever again. See, like, I think that you can't be a maxi and just not incorporate how this looks for Safemoon and how it affects the future of Safemoon, and think that it is like negative effect, or like, oh, maybe you think it's a positive effect. That was one of the things I thought, oh, John came and saved the day. I believe in Captain Hot. Like, people were saying, and John Crony we trust. Like, after the liquidity was lost, people were posting that. It was like, what do you mean you trust him? We just lost the liquidity. Whether through him directly or through somebody he put in place that he thought could do the job, and they're not telling us why or how or what. ACC at work but listening. What's up, Maddie? Good to see you, man. Moon Matt offers to buy Safemoon. Honestly, I think that wouldn't be a bad idea. Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that. I like Matt, but he's also young. But he'd probably do a better job than John Crony. But I think his Twitter's suspended. I saw the tweet last night. Someone buying Safemoon would be the only way out of this for holders. That's how you guys feel. Hey, what's up, Sling? Yeah, just hoping to get my money back. Totally understandable, man. Just, don't pump something that you don't believe in just to get your money back. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you are doing that, but there are people who are doing that. You guys need to know, and I don't know if you guys know, but TNG Systems has a whole list. If you go onto Twitter, TNG System has a whole list of people, and I didn't really agree with this, but he was going and he was figuring out what wallets they have. If you are in a public manner saying, oh, I bought this much at this time, or if anybody wants to, if you're doxing your address, or providing a way to figure out at what point a certain buy was made, if you show the amount of your wallet, like in any hint that can give away your address, we can, or anybody can go to your wallet, go to your profile and figure out what is your wallet and confirm it through like you saying multiple things about that wallet. So he's done this for some of the biggest maxis of Safemoon. Also, I'm not going to say who this is, guys, but this is a crazy story. Like, I cannot believe this, but it is kind of one of the bigger names on the pro Safemoon side. And this guy, I think put in 1,000 and he wrote it up to 68 million. He had 68 million, or I don't remember how much he put in. Maybe he put in more than that, but he sat on $68 million. And it's down now, is completely gone for the time being until they inject liquidity. But then now I think it was down to like 1 million or something. It was down, it was so far down, and he didn't take any profits. And it was just like, holy cow, if I sat on 5 million, dude, I'd be taking like 2.5 million. You know how rich I'd have to be to not take profits on $68 million? Like, bro, what were you hoping for? 100 million? And that's one of the people out there who is defending to the bitter end Safemoon on Twitter. I'm not going to say who it is, but you need to know that many of these people who are defending Safemoon are way down. They're way, way down. And it's important to understand that, yeah, there might be some people who are like believe in Safemoon no matter what, and their investment doesn't matter. But a lot of these people are so far down that they can't give up on what it is that they hold. It could be you're in a situation where your wife will divorce you or something if she finds out that Safemoon's done. So you have to keep believing in it. So, you know what I mean? That's just a hypothetical. But seriously, I mean, if you're pouring thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars into this thinking that it's going to make you rich, then and then you're down as much as you are, like what choice do you have but to be a maxi? And they're actually convincing other people that everything's gone fine, everything's going to be amazing, and they're mocking and attacking anybody who is respectfully bringing up these issues that Safemoon is doing, and it's super dishonest, man. You guys need to go look at that list, and maybe I'll bring that up in a second so that you guys can see that they are. The average of all the people who are down was about 18,000, right? But some people are down a lot more than that, and some people aren't down as bad. There's only like 2 people that were up a little bit. Mitch, thanks so much for that $2, bro. I really appreciate that. Safemoon abort no launch for moon landing. It would be good if John sold the company. Yeah, okay, it was. Another $2 from Mitch. 44 people and 5 thumbs up. Hit that like. It's free and it helps. Thanks so much, Mitch. I appreciate that. Where is our money? So an update on the money. There is people that think that, first of all, that I guess the wallets are being restored because one of the functions that they could do was anybody, like you yourself, could go in there and start just burning anybody's wallets. That's like how the hack happened, right? So apparently that's been restored. And maybe they've restored the burn wallet. I'm not sure, but either way, they're going to be able to restore the tokens how they should be, right? If somebody burned your tokens, which that was actually pretty funny, that people were it was absolute chaos on the blockchain. People were unburning the burn wallet. Anybody could go on there and start burning each other's tokens because of that function that was on there. So that is going to be restored. And this is obviously a big FU to the fudders, right? Like, it's restored. How you fudders have been shut down, right? And it's also like, apparently they're going to be injecting the liquidity. And Safemoon, David Kark is a very smart developer, and he has confirmed that with Mr. Adult that the Safemoon team did give a wallet to the hackers to get the money back. So they provided a wallet. David checked the wallet. He didn't know it was a treasury wallet. And then Mr. Adult said it is our wallet. Although I don't know if that wallet is actually a treasury wallet or if it's just one of John's wallets. That's kind of let me see, there might be some post on that. Either way, I don't know if the hacker's still going to give it back or not. Let's like best case scenario, hacker just decides that he is going to give you $9 million back, of which he doesn't have to give you, right? And yeah, we're going to be going over some more comments. Let me check up on the YouTube side of things. How on earth are folks still buying the scam coin? What is the price the wallet says? So I believe the actual price, and I could be wrong, feel free to correct me, is a coin market cap. So if you go to coin market cap and then we go to Safemoon V2, that I think that's the actual price. But actually, I'm not sure because I don't know how much liquidity is in there. So I'm a little confused on all that, to be honest. I invested $2,500 and cashed out $1,000. Sucks, but as soon as you step out of the bubble, you realize how indoctrinated it was into a cult. I thought I was holding, but realized I was run by chances. It's done. Oh, dear God, not again. People, be smart. It's been over. Yeah, there's so many different perspectives. Like people that think Safemoon's dead and done. People that believe in it till the bitter end. And there might be some people in the middle ground that are like, I don't know, man. I'm too down to pull out, and I'm just hoping something happens so I can pull out my initial investment or something, right? There's all these different categories of people. So yeah, John Crony did post this. He said, the past 48 hours have been nothing short of incredible as our community has come together to show a tremendous outpouring of kind messages. Oh my God. You can't comment on his posts, by the way. We cannot express enough gratitude for your patience and unwavering support as we continue to work to rectify the situation. I understand the importance of transparency during such an unprecedented event. Rest assured, I will keep you informed every step of the way through our official channels. While thorough investigations such as these take time, we are committed to getting the rocket back on track as soon as possible. And there's people saying that liquidity is going to be injected. And that would kind of come down, and if somebody can answer this for me in the YouTube chat, or if you could go into Discord and start asking them, if you're not worried about getting banned, where are they getting this money? Where did this money come from? Did this money come from money that was saved up on a tax for V2? Did this money come from swap partners, or did it come from potentially a place that they're not going to say where it came from? And that's just a question I have: is how is this, if it, if they're not getting the hack money back, if the hacker's not sending the money back and they're paying for it themselves, also they could just inject it and then say that they're still working with the hacker and never give an update on it. That's kind of how politics work, is some insane like BS of just knowing when to talk about things and when to not talk about things, and kind of like a sleight of hand, like, oh, look over here, guys, we have the NFT marketplace, and like, oh, look over here, yeah, forget about the hack that happened, and as long you got your money back and we're working to get it back from the hacker, and as long as they say those things, like, that probably would be the best way forward for them. That's why I personally do lean towards thinking that if John has the money, the only way to keep Safemoon running is he has to put the LP back. There's no way that you could just not put that money back and continue going. Another potential problem is if you do put that money back, there's probably going to be a big sell-off. There's probably going to be a bunch of people that said, this is the last straw, I'm out. You guys let a contract get hacked. And I don't want to keep my money in Safemoon anymore, right? Zero Ducks, by the way, Ben Phillips isn't out of the woods in the UK. His conduct will be highlighted with FCA in UK. Nice, man. That's good to hear. One Safemoon, always stay one Safemoon. I'm not sure what that means, class. Good. He should go to prison. Doesn't anyone know how much money was taken? Yeah, it was 8.9 million. It was 8.7 million, around there. They took 8.7 million. And it was just sitting in a wallet, and then they're like communicating with Safemoon saying they're going to give it back. I don't know if it's a joke, if they're messing with them. They've also been linked to hacking other contracts, and apparently they gave some of the money back. But that was one of the things that I know. In this space, guys, people will look for people to launch contracts, and then they'll look for an exploit, and then they'll exploit it, and they'll say, hey, I got your money for you. I did it before anybody else could do it, and it'll just be a little fee to give you that money back, 10%, say. So, 10% of 8.9 million would be 890,000. So you give us 890,000, we'll give you your LP back because we saved this from being hacked by someone else. It's kind of like, they might come at it a little bit differently, but that's the gist of it is, oh, we have this, but in order to protect you, and we pulled it for you, and just a little fee for saving that for you. I imagine that if they give the money back, they're not giving it all back. That would be extremely hard to believe. I think more than likely, if they're giving the money back, they're doing it in a way where they say, you give us 10%, 5%, 400,000, 500,000 of your money, right? Of our money, anyone that was still holding Safemoon, and then you inject the rest. That's if they even do that. I don't know if they're going to do that at all. They might not. They might just be messing with Safemoon, pretending that they're going to give money back, and maybe they'll only send them like $32 or something as a joke. And then it'll come down to Safemoon having to use the treasury or any other place that they have built up money to inject money into the LP to make it what it was. And that's also going to be, like I said, that if they don't get the money back from the hack, they still have to inject that money. And that if that money's coming from somewhere else, it was somewhere else that was a part of Safemoon's funding, like the treasury that's funding everything that they're doing. That means if they have to use the treasury, then it's going to be $9 million less that they have for marketing, for budgets, for paying people, for everything, right? And either way, financially, it's probably going to hit Safemoon. And to the degree, I don't know. If the hacker gives nothing back, then it's a $9 million loss that they have to get just to get the LP back to what it was. And that's not including that there's probably going to be a big sell-off afterwards. If they give it back, if they do give it back, then they're probably taking a fee, and which will be 400 to 5 to 800,000, I would guess. It's me guessing, dollars out of it that they'd still have to take the hit for. And no matter what, you have Safemoon, who's been toting safety and all these things for the past couple of years, doing a exploit that almost appears, in some senses, it appears intentional. That's why a lot of people just think there's no way that was an accident. They did this on purpose. They took it from themselves, and maybe they're playing, at pretending to be these hackers. I don't lean towards that. I don't actually believe that. But the fact that, when developers go and look at this, it's like a very obvious hack that they actually deployed the right contract, and then they went back and redeployed the wrong contract with the exploit, or not even an exploit, just with the ability to use the burn function to do what they did. So my plasma for this Safemoon. Oh no, he sold plasma to get Safemoon. I'm sorry to hear that. I think this hack was more of an exposure thing by enemies of Mr. Coroni. Today, Crypto Control and to all. What's going on, guys? Good to have you in the chat. If you guys do me a favor, hit that like button. They're going to sell 3%. Ben Phillips took out 9 million-ish while saying Hope Whale gets hit with a bus. I mean, if Ben Phillips ever get hit by a bus, then we'll know that fate or irony has taken its course. And I'm just like, dude, if I stole $1 million from a project and then went on Twitter and said, I hope this guy dies, I feel like that'd be putting a death wish on myself and like challenging God to not do that to me. Like being like, God, I bet you won't let me get hit by a bus if I do this terrible theft, and then openly challenge and hope that guy dies. I can't believe Ben Phillips did that. If there's a context that makes that not as bad as what it seems, then I'm open to it. But oh my gosh, that sounds terrible. There's no way anyone will insure full amount on a dodgy contract. Let them sell. Would they have done it themselves? Another really important thing that this brings up is everybody was under the assumption that the LP was insured. Like everybody, Dark Moon Tim, myself, a long time ago, because when they told us this, they said that it was insured, right? That the LP was insured. John's post was that the treasury was insured, your wallets aren't insured, but the treasury, and that the LP was a function of the treasury, which doesn't make any sense because those are just two separate things. And the treasury, this doesn't make any sense. And we never got to hear who they were insured by, how much they were insured for. But this kind of puts us in a position where, once again, I believe if Safemoon ever does anything wrong, they are not going to tell you. They're not going to admit it. They're going to paint it in the best light possible, or they're just not going to talk about it. Like with, CoffeeZilla bringing up all those information about where they got their money. John could have said, hey guys, we didn't get our money from the LP. We got it from here and we didn't take it from you guys. And that's all bullcrap. They didn't say that. They just didn't say anything. And that left us with, okay, well, we're just kind of in the dark because John Crony's not providing a counter argument to not like a couple people talking about Safemoon, but to millions of people seeing Safemoon as a scam. You know what I mean? Even if CoffeeZilla was wrong about all those things, either way, not addressing it, whether CoffeeZilla was right or wrong, not addressing it only hurts. And the only reason you wouldn't address it is because you have something to hide, right? Like if I have the truth and people are out here telling massive lies about me that are hurting other people, not just me, other people, it's hurting Safemoon. What CoffeeZilla did hurt Safemoon and its future, not just John Coroni. And by not addressing that, you're letting all your investors get hurt. You're letting everybody who's supporting Safemoon get hurt. And John just didn't say anything. And I think that's exactly what we're going to see here is they're not, I could be wrong, and I'm open to being wrong, but I doubt they're going to address whether or not this was insured, how much was insured for. Because if it's not insured, then John lied to us. Like then it's like, okay, you just straight lied to us. Ryan